Hello and welcome to the Light TV show channel. My name is Ifi Arono Kafo. I am the producer and presenter of the Light TV show and host Ifi Talks, the vlog series. Let us talk about something that everyone around the world is talking about at this time. Coronavirus, of course. A lot has been said about it, and this is my take. We remember just in recent past how a lot of people would talk about what's needed to be done to prevent the virus spreading to Nigeria. I remember a message, an inbox message actually that was sent to me on Facebook. A certain man was worried and he said, isn't it time that you media people started talking to the government about closing our borders before this thing comes here? He said that, and I decided to put up post after that talking about the need to close our borders. And I know that a lot of people who have followership like Reno Mokri had said things about that. Reno Mokri even likened, just opposed the situation of perhaps closing borders to against importation of rice and then leaving borders open for coronavirus to come into Nigeria. And because it has gotten to this, we are at a point in Nigeria where more cases have been recorded since the index case involving an Italian who came to Nigeria and then proceeded from Lagos to Ogun State after he developed symptoms, and there was contact tracing and all that, and one other person who contracted the virus from him was discovered to be positive. So after that, there's been other imported cases into Nigeria, and you will recall that the House of Reps called attention to that, asking that the needful be done for our borders to be well policed or even closed to avoid infiltration of people who may have the virus, and that has happened. Other cases of the virus into Nigeria were not from the index case. It's actually cases imported from UK and the US. And then I ask, how proactive is our government? Did it have to come to this? I really think that going forward, depending on how this pans out and if this goes away, hopefully, that our government becomes more proactive so that we do not play with the lives of Nigerians as it is. Yeah, so I have done some findings regarding how people are actually preparing for this era when governments are issuing bans against public gatherings of a certain number of people, beyond a certain number actually, and it tells me that our people, because of the religiousness of this Nigerian society, people are not believing this really. A lot of people, average Nigerians out there, I went to get stuff at a shop, and I saw that the man was sweating, that the person who was to attend to me, and I tried to engage him. I said, hope you know about coronavirus and what's going on. Hope you discuss it with him. He said he knows about it, but he does not believe in that. And I said, how do you mean you don't believe in that? He said that that's what they are telling us. But the thing is, how do I even stay safe? If somebody comes to buy from me, won't I collect money from the person? Won't I get close? Because now we're talking about social distance. So he doesn't stop that at first. Handling cash and all that you do, at intervals, you must know that hand washing is necessary. Now, these are things that you should have been doing before now. But even if you weren't doing it now, before, it's critical that you start now. I tried to explain that to him, and I hope that he understood, because I actually, after explaining the need for hand washing and for social distance, having to also educate his customers at that level, person to person, I hope he thanked me and said thank you so much. I left, and I'm hoping that he does the needful and that he stays safe. But then that's pretty much what you see on the streets of different cities in Nigeria. People do not think that this is actually real, because all they know is there are figures we haven't seen. Is it until they start seeing perhaps people around them die and that it will start making sense? I hope it doesn't come to that. And then I was at the bank as well, and I engaged some bankers. I was expecting that on stepping into the bank that the first thing the security person would say is, "Madam, please use the hand sanitizer at least," and that possibly someone would be there to check my temperature on entry. But there was absolutely nothing like that. I had to request to use the hand sanitizer because at some point I noticed that I was resting on the platform there and I needed to sanitize and I didn't have mine, so I asked them and they directed me to it. So aren't we supposed to have these processes in place already? Okay, so I got talking to a banker on one-on-one basis, and he said that he's worried that they would have to start working even when public gatherings have been banned and all that, because there's no way somebody steps into the bank and comes to you that you won't establish any form of contact. Some people want to use your pen, they want to do this, they want to, be in your space, and you can't send them away because they are, first of all, your customers. So he expressed his fears, and well, I didn't have anything to tell him. It's his job, and a lot of people will have to be in their workplaces as well, earning until perhaps if we get to that brink where everybody has to stay home. We hope we don't. So these are the issues. At different workplaces, people have challenges, things that make them feel that they can't even establish a form of safety process. But it's important, something like social distance, always knowing that there should be an established distance between you and whoever is speaking to you. I read something on the internet about a lady who contracted the virus in the UK, and she traced it back to when somebody coughed in her face. It was at a shop and she had gone to buy something. The attendant, who was having a cough, coughed into her face, and that was the origin of the virus. So it's important for us to make social distance part of what we practice in this part of the world. Even though we're communal people, it's going to be that. Why did it have to come to this? It's as though this is happening. This is the first time that a lot of people in this generation have seen this kind of thing. I went to my mom and I asked, has there ever been a time when the world was brought to its knees like this? And she said in her lifetime she hasn't seen this kind of pandemic. And I know that the word pandemic, a lot of us are not familiar with it because it's rarely used. You would never even witness it in literature that much. And it told me something. We're witnessing something that is a phenomenon. And for a long time to come, maybe generations after us, they may not even smell something half this serious or intense. And it's time for us to document history. So if things are happening around you, find a way to at least keep a mental note of, how things are going, and try to also educate people around you about coronavirus. This is 2020, and it's such a significant year, even by the nomenclature, what it represents. If you hear 2020, you would know. So it's important for us to not only imbibe the safety processes, but also to allow it trickle to other people on a one-on-one basis. I studied mass communication, and I know how effective interpersonal communication can be, especially when it comes to behavior change and you're trying to get others to adopt a kind of behavior different from what they've always known, which is perhaps to hug, to shake hands, and you're trying to tell them that there's something called social distance. So let us carry this. Don't meet people without mentioning, oh, how are you getting in the you don't meet someone without at least having a conversation on coronavirus to know if they actually understand what this is about. That way you might be passing information that would keep them safe. So information, knowledge is really important, critical at this very point in time. 2020 is going to end well for us, but it's important for us to establish some of these processes, safety measures, not just for yourself but for those around you, and also to ensure that you pass the information to those in your network. As much as possible, users of social media get information, instantly. The moment you get it, a lot of people around you may not be on social media. You become the information agent. But of course, it has to be from verified sources. Remember, not every information is worth sharing. There are different platforms. There are several platforms where you can get verified information minute by minute on what's going on about coronavirus in Nigeria. and you can trickle the information to other people around you just so that they know what's going on at different times, because information at this point is critical. Government may say something today and the next morning it changes because something has changed overnight. We have observed that in terms of the number of cases, how test results are coming up and everything. And that brings us to a point where we also have to hold our government to account. Now that we have just one testing center in the whole of Nigeria, in Ura, Edo State, that's not enough. We need to localize this. We need to localize this testing centers so that test results are made available at the shortest possible time and treatment commences immediately. And if there are cases around you of people who have suddenly developed an illness that amounts to coughing, sneezing, and high temperature that is unexplained, you can actually inform them of the need to self-isolate and then go to a medical facility closest to them to get tested at least, just so that everyone around is safe. So these are the things we should know, but it's important for us to live through this era, and believe me, we will tell this story because we predated coronavirus and we will definitely be here to say that we saw it and it has passed. We predated coronavirus and definitely we will outlive coronavirus in Jesus' name. Amen. For more on this channel and specifically on Ify Talks the vlog series, all you need to do is to hit the subscribe button for notification when there's a fresh release. Stay safe, keep the safety measures in place, and let everyone know around you that this is what they need to do to be safe. And remember, don't touch your face. I always touch my face, in fact, but I have stopped. So please, you do yourself a lot of good by not touching your face. This is the Light TV Show channel. Thank you so much for being here.